Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, da, da, lie, lie, da, da, lie, da, lie. La, da, 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 lie. La, da, 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 lie.
the world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fweet-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventure.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gothic Horror Gaming here on Nat 21 Adventures. Yes, Sir David Percival, I always assume my camera is on, so I'm always scowling. Welcome. It's been a few weeks. Life has been crazy, and the holidays are upon us, so happy holidays to all of you and all of yours. A couple of things before we get started, just to set some things aright. This is a horror game. I noticed that we have some new people who are joining us for the first time. Welcome. Good to see you here. But a bit of warning, this is a horror role-playing game. So we have some various topics that might be not for the squeamish. Violence toward minors, spelled both with an E and an O. We also have creatures of common phobias, descriptions of gore, that sort of thing. So be aware of that. If that is not your thing, we understand, but wanted you to be aware before we got any further. Speaking of before we get any further, we'd also like to thank our sponsors. We'd like to start with our perennial sponsor, Wren Adventures, wrenadventures.com. You can find them over there. And you can find a very blurry image right there as well. Our newest tour that's coming up very soon is next June, this coming June. It's going to be a castle tour in Muncaster Castle over in England for a week. And we're playing 5e in the castle during the day and at night, and then also touring local sites nearby. We are threshing out the actual adventure right now. Your game masters will be Paulo Garbanzo, myself, and Ryan Gelodi, who has been on this channel frequently. So if you're interested, go on over to wrenadventures.com. We'd also like to thank our own personal friends, 3D2U, 3D2U.org. They make all sorts of wonderful laser engraved, printing, all sorts of things. So do check them out. Woodcut, dice towers, dice trays, all of that. Check them out at 3D2U.org. And of course, I also want to plug ourselves. Handler Z, who is in the background running all of this, she has written a book called Dare. It's a collection of short fiction and poetry, mainly horror-based, some science fiction in there as well. Available on Amazon as a Kindle or as a paperback. And also, I do the audiobook version. You can find that on Audible, so be sure to check that out as well. Well, let me tell you a little bit about our game tonight. Many of you know this already, but for our new folks, our horror game is set in the Chill universe. Chill is a game that was originally put out by Mayfair Games back in the 80s, has gone through several iterations. The basic campaign setting is thus, the supernatural is real, it exists. It is behind the scenes, though. The general public is unaware. There is an organization called SAVE, that is the Society of the Eternal Silver Way, Societas Argenti Viae Eternitata, I guess, is how you pronounce that. I am no Latin scholar. But this organization is not a government organization. It is a group of philanthropists who formed in 1844 in an attempt to combat what they call the unknown. The unknown is usually very powerful and very often very evil. Our players are merely regular humans in this horrible environment. Our rule system, however, we are not using the Chill rules. We're using rules from a game called Over the Edge. And the rules are very simple. I will explain them to you in the next 2 minutes. All of our characters have 3 traits, a primary trait, 2 side traits. Anything they attempt to do, we see if it falls underneath one of those traits. If it falls underneath that trait, they roll 4d6 to hit a target number. If it falls under one of their side traits, they roll 3d6, attempt to hit a target number. If it does not fall under any of that, 2d6. And they can also use helps. You in Twitchlandia can spend your Twitch points with Sir David Percival over there in the comments. Thank you, Sir David, for being here once again. Sir David will tally your helps. When you give a help by spending your Twitch points, declare who you want to help, which of our players. Those players then can choose to spend those helps before they make a roll to roll an extra d6 in an attempt to hit their target number. They can still only take the maximum of what they would normally be allowed, but it allows them a greater chance to roll 5s and 6s. So those are the rules. The year is 1847. We find ourselves in the winter, the day after Christmas, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And we zoom in onto the City Tavern, a famous tavern in Philadelphia. It was damaged in 1834. They're attempting to renovate it now in 1847. Very famous. All the founding fathers used to meet here. The first celebration of the Declaration of Independence was here. So, very historical place. But we find in the City Tavern one Kensington Kensington.
Stout grapple, dear boy. Stout grapple. Yeah.
Indeed. Mr. Stoke Grapple, if you would please describe yourself.
I, of course, am great. I am, as aforementioned, I'm an investor in Save, of course. I'm very, very wealthy. I'm here in this wonderful place of Pennsylvania. I'm investing in a what do you call a factory, a wool factory. As you know, our queen does love wool a great deal, and I feel that this is a wonderful place to make money. I am a robust 63 years old, but I'm very spry and weigh about 250 pounds. I'm 6'4".
Very good, sir. A stout example of English propriety, no doubt.
Yes.
Indeed. Sitting at the table with him is one Madame Marvolo.
Yes, good evening. I am Madame Marvolo. I have the gift of the sight. I may speak to your dead relatives and tell you where your treasures are hidden, of course, for a nominal fee. Merely just a token of appreciation for me. Allow me to gaze into the eyes of a crystal skull. Now I am a rather unassuming, maybe slightly frumpy middle-aged woman. But I do get by on these stunning good looks and my ample, very generous endowments, I am in the city of brotherly love to find maybe a new patron of the arts. And I see in Kensington you have a need to know the secrets of the universe. I believe we could work together.
I will write you a check if you never offer me anything.
I will accept your checks.
That's a hell of a business deal. Also at the table sits one Cormac McDillan.
Yes, Cormac McDillan, how you doing there? I'm a member of the Moyamensing Boys, unfairly called the Moyamensing Killers. We're a little group that keeps the Southwark area of Philadelphia safe from some of the other groups, and we're part of a fire brigade.
Fire brigade.
Fire brigade, yeah. We protect from the fires that those blood tubs like to set, and maybe we've set some retaliatory fires in their areas, but they hate the Catholics, so they deserve every bit of it.
I see. So you, for a fee, will protect the homes in your
yeah. Like the whole Point Breeze area, we make sure that place, like South Street down to the river, we make sure that's nice and safe and free of fires.
That is very, very generous of you.
It's a public service that we are more than willing to help out people with.
That's very, very noble of you. And we
can do to probably about average size and about 30, 32 years old.
All right. Very good. And clearly Scandinavian.
Yeah, clearly.
Jamaican in origin. Very well. We also have with us Jane Devert. Please pronounce it for me.
Jane Divergent. Nice to meet you. Now,
Divergent. All right.
You're these guys aren't cops, right? Because you have to tell me if you're a cop.
Not a cop.
All right, game on. So I also provide a service to the community. That if there is someone in your life that you would like to have less life in them, I can provide that service. My main clientele is ladies that have gotten knocked around one too many times and need to have an ex in the churchyard. So that's where I get most of my business, and I born and raised right here. You know, put the lib in Northern Liberties.
I see.
I
Well,
see us working together very well.
I like your style.
I like your style.
you have all been asked to the city tavern. You had all received a letter inviting you here at 7 p.m. The night after Christmas by Gordon Pym, who you know because you have all now become associated with the SAVE organization. He is the liaison here in the United States to the SAVE organization. And sure enough, as you sit down and order a round of drinks, in walks Pym himself. He's nondescript in a gray frock coat, slightly graying at the temples, indeterminate age, probably late middle age, but it's hard to say. He looks very ageless, timeless. He walks in and sits down at the table. Thank you all so very much for being here and coming on such short notice, especially after such a festive holiday that we just had here.
Happy Boxing Day, everyone.
Oh, yes. Happy Boxing Day. He reaches into his coat and pulls out a small wrapped package. I figured you would appreciate this, Kensington. It's a snuff box. There you go.
Thank you.
Well, I hate to break up the festive spirit, but there's been some goings on in the northwestern area of outer Philadelphia, out in the countryside a bit, that we had heard recently that we think warrants SAVE's active involvement to ascertain if this is indeed a manifestation of the unknown. And since all four of you happen to be in the area, we thought perhaps you could investigate for us. There is a stipend involved, of course, and your expenses, what little they are, can be met. Perhaps a little backfill of what is occurring. There is a community of farmers, primarily dairy, but up in what they call the Upper Frederick Township area, to the north and west of here, up along the Perkiomen Creek. And there are so far two individuals have met their demise in rather gruesome circumstances. There have also been several fires. We don't have details about what the deaths were, but they were a day apart and located about 20 miles distance from each other. We were wondering if you could take a look.
Gladly.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Do you have any questions for me?
Were the two individuals of any relation to each other?
It does not appear so. The our two there was a Gertrude Schroeder and Druella Bauer. Their families live in the area, and they were found somewhere near their families from our tentative first reports that we have received.
Both women, approximate ages?
I do not have that information. I know that they were young women.
And you say they were found about the same time?
A day apart.
A day apart. Well, 20 miles, all right. That would take about a day.
But what information do you have about the fires? You said there were fires. Like, were they involved with the death anyway, or?
They were at separate residences nearby. Two separate fires. One at the Keitling household, and another one at the Niemeyer household.
All right.
What is it that makes you think this is something that is related to our business?
All of Upper Frederick Township has a population, all told, of less than 200 people.
Murders happen. People
Yep.
get drunk.
Yeah, when you say gruesome, I mean, are we looking like a bear attack? Are we looking like? I mean, not
I was informed surgical. That is all I've heard.
Fascinating.
These are not accidents. I do not have any further information. The newspaper men have only just got wind of the story themselves, so we've not heard more.
Mm. Yeah, who's driving?
I could certainly hire a vehicle. I could hire transportation for all of us.
I wouldn't say it's a hell of a walk.
Yeah, I don't think trains run out that way. Thanks, so Scrapple.
The lady never drives herself.
So, to give you an idea, it is snowing currently. There's probably like 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground. There is a train, but it does not run that direction. It runs out to Columbia and then from there up to Harrisburg. This area is directly north and west, out past the historic area known as Valley Forge.
Mm.
There is a road out there. It is called Skipback Pike. So there is a road that goes right to the town of Frederick in Upper Frederick Township. By town, it has a population of about 50 people, but there you can certainly rent out a carriage or a sleigh at this time of year.
Hey,
Certainly.
Snort Snapple said he got it. I'm in.
Oh, well, in that case, says Pym, I have this for you. Here is a list of the locations of the homes of where the 2 girls were found, and the family. So the Bowers, Stefan and Emmeline, and it was their daughter Druella Bauer, and here is their address. And then also the Schroeder family, Oscar and Bertina, their daughter Gertrude is the other deceased.
Hmm.
And then Keitling and Niemeyer are the places where things are burned down. Here is a list of their addresses as well. You'll notice that they're all in the general vicinity of Frederick.
Do we have any friends in this town that we would wish that you recommend we start with? Allies, potential allies.
You are it.
Yes, that's
However, I do have this, and he slides over some coin. It's about a week's worth of wages for a middle-class laborer, which would certainly cover any expenses you would have in renting a horse and wagon or horse and sleigh. Probably also would provide you meals and places to stay for at least 2 days.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
We
Well,
can
off we-
negotiate any other conversations.
off we go, I suppose.
I
Yes, well,
suppose.
It is 7 o'clock at night, you said?
it is.
Oh, then I suggest we go bright and early the next morn. Let's be fair that there might be a third.
Well, I will leave you to it and trust in your judgment. You can always leave word for me back here at the City Tavern if you've discovered anything. Good luck, everyone, and what more can I say but proceed with caution. With that,
Good
Gordon
man.
Pym stands up and instead of walking to the front door, walks to the kitchen and disappears back into the kitchen area.
He does that. Well, what do we think, dear friends? Should we attempt to go forth this evening? You there, Jane, you seem to be know that this area better than I. How quickly would one get there?
That is a thing that I would know.
Well, you did say you're from this area.
I did.
Jane, your character certainly does know. Skipback Pike is the major route to the north and west. For those of you who are familiar with Pennsylvania geography, it is now currently Pennsylvania Route 73. If you are from the area, you will recognize that. It goes up toward all the way up toward Allentown eventually. But it is a road recently, as recent as 1845, attempts were made to turn it into a toll road. These efforts have failed when local residents burned down the toll booths.
Awesome.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, by carriage, it would take what, about 2 hours to get there?
At night in the snow.
In the snow, probably about 4.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I'm worried about the horses.
Yes, have it not only the horses, but if it is as small of a hamlet as we've been described, there might not be the most welcome accommodations when we arrive.
Jane, you are local.
Mm.
You can give me a local knowledge roll.
Okay.
Which
And
I
that's
would
all
guess,
4?
I would guess 3 because it's a little outside of your sphere of influence. To see if you know of anywhere that would be a good place to stay up in that direction.
And what am I aiming to be over?
Tell me, what did you roll?
2 6s and a 4.
Oh, fine. Yes, there's a place called the Trap Tavern, which is up in that direction. It's probably about 5 miles from Frederick, so not nearly as far. Frederick itself is very small, but there's that inn up there. It's called the Trap Tavern. That is would be good for accommodations. They have stabling facilities as well, and that would put you in close proximity then.
Yeah, I mean, we can, if we leave now, the horses aren't going to like you. We're definitely going to have to throw in some extra sugar and carrots in the morning, but yeah, we can be there well before midnight if.
Or there's also the fact you got to think that the snow could get worse as we're sitting here and could actually end up trapping us here tonight.
That's also valid. I mean, that's, I haven't read the Farmer's Almanac in a minute, but we've already got snow.
allow me to use my gifts to foresee the weather.
All right.
It's right behind me. We can look outside of the window.
No. Let her do her thing. I like it.
Yes.
I'm correct.
We
Go
should
ahead,
go
yes.
tonight. We could go tonight. The weather says we
You
should
all right?
go tonight.
The eyes
I've
have it.
got everything on me that I need to take with me anyway.
There is a livery not far from here, very close by.
That explains the smell. Well, I believe we've determined our course of action.
Sounds as good as any other plan we could have.
Well, you all go out and enjoy your meal. Enjoy your do have a hearty dinner. I shall nip by the library and secure us transportation.
Very well. Kensington, it's
I'm
a
pretty
simple.
sure I understood every one of those words.
I'm going to go get us a sleigh.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes, I said it twice. This is the 3rd time. It's called
I like sleigh ride.
There's a city in Michigan called the same thing. Off I go.
Very well. In a very brief period of time, you would do, in fact, secure a a four-person sleigh with driven by two horses. There is no driver available, however. No one is at this late at night. The drivers have all gone home. This is what the sleigh looks like.
Oh, well.
Okay. I love horses, and if no one else wants to drive, I will drive.
Jane, I insist.
Going once, going twice. Horses!
And so you set off onto Skipback Pike in the snow, on your way, bundled up with your meager possessions. Is there anything in particular that anyone is taking with them?
Yes. I'm taking along a few books. I shall, and chalk, and writings. I, of course, have a pistol and my valuable hunting knife. It's mostly decorative, but it's very sharp.
And I've got my pocket pistol, my knife, and a pair of scissors. Other than that, not much of anything. My jacket, my hat.
I've got a little, like, weekender bug-out bag that I tend to have on me. And my medical bag that has various elixirs and herbs.
It's just full with laudanum, isn't it?
And there is laudanum is definitely in there. Laudanum, a little some snuff, some cocaine. That's just for Jane.
And the horses.
I mean, a knife set. I usually don't do knives, but they're in there just in case. They're handy.
So just as a refresher for the time period, so everyone is aware before we go much further, your pistols at this point are all cap and ball, which means there are no cartridges.
No.
You have to load each cylinder with black powder individually.
Yes.
All right, just making sure we are aware of that.
And I have my I won't say everything I own, but maybe yes, in this one big bag that is right now. And the big warm cloak and tarot cards, various scrying devices of various, mostly travel size, a couple of bottles of tinctures that are potentially love potions, other medicinal uses, of course, but they're all very, very intoxicating, I will say. Because honestly, what's the best love potion? Am I right? Vodka.
I really hope our bags don't get confused.
And the one weapon, because I am a lady. Pew! And a knife, of course, for scrying purposes.
Of course, if you have to check out the entrails of a pigeon, for instance.
Definitely not some mugger.
You are on the road going up Skipback Pike. The snow is coming down. It's not coming down terribly hard. You can see fairly decently ahead. Visibility is most likely several hundred yards if there was light. The moon is out. It's not full, but it's 3/4. So there's a decent amount of light reflecting off of the snow as you travel up through the suburbs and out into the countryside. Jane, if you would, please give me your horse riding, your horse skills as you maneuver this sleigh up through Skipback Pike.
That's 3.
That is your secondary trait.
Mm-hmm.
3 dice then.
Actually, fun fact: it is the moon. If this is December the 26th, 1847, it is a waning gibbous that is 82% visible.
Well, there you have it. So, as I said, plenty of light.
Yes, very good.
Thanks, Snortsapple. 8.
8. It is
Oh,
slow
yeah.
going. You get stuck in the ditch a couple times, but you do manage in about 5 hours to reach where you know the Trap Tavern to be.
Madam, are your hands cold?
They are.
Oh
They're
no, I'm quite cozy. Thank you
Yes,
very
I
much
know.
for
Please
asking.
remove them from the inside of my jacket.
Oh, but you are so hot-blooded, I can
Yes,
tell.
yes. Yes.
Englishmen are famous for it.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, that's what the
Um,
Englishmen are famous
this-
for.
This and that is my tarot deck you have in your hands, please.
I was just getting the vibe.
I know,
of the
I know.
deck here.
Yes,
Guys, we are almost there.
sit in front.
We are almost there. It's been a long sleigh ride, I know.
You do arrive at the Trap Tavern. The lantern is burning outside still, and a rap on the door eventually brings the innkeeper. Yes, sir. Oh, it's late, travelers. You must be chilly. You must let me get Adam, get over here and wake up, you lazy lout. Take these horses around the back and stable them. Indeed, it is. Come in, get out of the cold. I'll get the fire going again. And he immediately starts getting the fire back up to a more significant burn to keep you warm. Well, what can I do for you on this chilly night?
Two of your finest rooms, my friend.
Well, as I have 4 rooms and they're all empty, you can have the 2 that are the same as the other ones. So there you are. Yes, of course.
Good, very good.
So to eat? Are you hungry? How about some tea? I'll definitely get you some tea. Hang on.
I think a tea would be wonderful.
I would love a tea.
I'm going to bed.
A hot toddy would be lovely.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh yeah, if you can throw some whiskey up in that tea, that'd be great.
Oh, yes, of course I can. I assume you're going to start a tab?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, very good.
Put it on mine.
And he gets your name, writes it down, starts a tab for you. Very good. Is there anything else I can get you this evening after he serves you the beverages?
This is a very small town. What we're here visiting some friends, some associates. We are going to be visiting and I look at them, at my compatriots, and I say,
the Niemeyer family.
yes.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Niemeyers. They're over Frederick way. They're not far. They just had there was a fire in their barn not long ago.
Oh goodness.
2 or 3 days ago, I think.
Wow.
All that hay, I mean, it makes sense, but
Do you know
It's
what
strange?
started it?
Strange. It wasn't that the hay didn't catch fire.
Well, that doesn't sound like a thing that happens too often. I'm certain that's the only time there's been any kind of fire whatsoever recently.
I mean,
If the hay did not catch fire, what did catch fire?
they had a supply of flax, and they had a storeroom of flax that caught fire and burned.
Interesting.
Strangest thing.
And no ideas what might have started the fire?
No idea at all. There was no one in there. Apparently, no one was hurt or anything.
that's good.
Thank God for that.
Oh yeah.
Just and I can't imagine such things happen quite often in this neck of the woods, eh?
Well, I suppose, but people are just not being they're not being careful with their lanterns or something. The kitelings across the way, they had a fire as well in their root cellar.
The
Oh.
devil, you say?
In the cellar.
Yeah, trust me, from my experience, fires could start at any given moment.
Yeah, there was a fire in the root cellar. I don't know. No one was hurt in that one either, and I'm not sure what it destroyed or damaged. But That was just a few nights before.
I turn to Jane. I say, we are in Pennsylvania. Is it not pronounced Ruts? Is he saying that right? Roots?
Yeah, you know, we're a little outside the city right now, so
yes, that must be it. That must
you know, colloquialisms.
That's,
Well, you know,
that's local humor, folks.
Yeah, so
well,
if you have a fire in the root cellar, you just go ahead and put some water on it.
Yes.
Ooh.
Thank goodness the roof didn't catch fire.
The roof caught fire in the.
I
don't have washing
cannot
machines yet.
understand these words you are saying. They mean
I
things?
speak many dialects.
That's true.
Very good.
For what I am also from the area. I'm just from the city of Philadelphia itself.
Yes.
Monumenting's the southeastern part of the city.
If good Insman, if you were to which one would be easier to get to first, if you were to say?
Oh, the Niemeyers are not far. They're just up the old Colonial Road, right? Which intersects just up. You probably saw it when you stopped here. The old Colonial Road is right over there, and that'll take you right up into Frederick, and they're just before you get to the crossroad in Frederick.
That is what we thought as well. We are certainly just making certain. Thank you for the wonderful tea. Very much.
Oh, of course, my pleasure.
I am very, very tired.
Oh, it is 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking a nice night's sleep before we get to it.
Yeah. I'll make sure I'll have some breakfast for you in the morning, and your horses hitched up for say 8 o'clock.
Marvelous. Thank you so kindly.
Very good, very good. Well, have a pleasant evening.
The tea was delicious. Thank you.
Is there anything anyone wants to do for the evening?
Yes. I would like to consult my my tarot deck.
Mm-hmm.
I go into a deep meditative trance, and I pull 3 cards, and I read them.
All right. Roll me your occultist skill.
That is a 17, dear boy.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I personally, the Glue Master, I'm not terribly familiar with tarot decks, but
just the general
general feeling of them is death, but also at the same time a priestess, perhaps. So there's some holy thing in it involved as well, and the other thing you get is that it is something is ongoing.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so it's like a ritual. There's a ritual that is occurring that needs to be completed, and there are going to be more murders.
We really should have split the rooms up differently, madam. I do not know how this happened. Why we are in the same room. But
I thought you would, we could combine forces, and my skill.
I'm not saying no to the idea. I'm not saying no to the idea.
Reading the cards,
I do
and
appreciate
you were doing the reading,
that
and
I
thought
received while in my deep trance.
I can offer insight. I assure you.
Yeah,
so if this makes you uncomfortable, certainly I would gladly room with him.
No. By all means.
Is there anyone want to do anything else in the evening as well?
No, I took half a shot of laudanum and I'm out.
Fair enough, Jane. Cormac also passes out.
Yes.
The morning arrives. Breakfast is ready. Nice hot breakfast of oatmeal and bacon.
Oh yes.
Some coffee and tea.
Ooh.
And the couple of poached eggs. He asked to settle up the bill. Kensington is perfectly reasonable.
Yes, I paid gladly.
And the horses are ready for you out front. They've been brushed and fed. They seem to be in good spirits. The snow has stopped, but it is still obviously on the ground. It is cold enough that it's not melting and going anywhere. It's probably about 25 degrees out.
Awful. Well, to the Niemeyer place, eh? As the closest of
Yeah.
It's only about a half-hour ride to the Niemeyer place, if that. And you see there's a stone farmhouse off. This is not exactly it, but just to give you an idea of what these structures look like at the time. There's a stone farmhouse off to the side of the road. There's some dairy pastures surrounded by woodlands all around it, gently rolling hills. And it is very obviously the family is up and about. You see that there is a detached barn where you see that part of the barn is in fact damaged by fire, it would seem.
Can I get the sense of any? What is the vibe in the area? Like, do you ever walk into a spooky place and you know that it's like shit's gone down?
Give me your occult sort of roll.
Yes.
As you have
So
one
tell
as
me
well.
again, how many dice am I rolling if it's the second?
I will give you 4. That's under your primary trait.
Okay. And then I add them all together.
Yes.
Okay. 5, 8, 12.
Nothing seems terribly out of the ordinary as you ride up to the farmhouse. It's a quiet, rural area. Nothing too terrible.
What can I suss out about the fire in the barn? Does it look like it started on the inside, the outside?
Given your area of expertise in protection, go ahead, give me a roll for that.
I got a whopping 10.
Well, from this distance, it's hard to tell. It looks like you can't tell where it started. You're not actually at the barn. You can see it off in the distance. But it looks like the fire, just from the scorch marks on the outside of the windows, that the fire mainly was inside the building.
All right.
So your guess is it started inside, but you're not 100% sure on that. You see a man come on out, and he is coming out, and it looks like he's going toward the barn. He looks over and he sees that your sleigh is stopped outside of his property. He sort of looks over at you all and starts walking your direction. He gets close enough.
I puff up.
Yeah, can I help you?
Oh, we were just I heard about the fire here, and I happen to have a particular interest in such things, so just kind of looking at it.
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
No, you don't. Hey, how you doing? Cormac McDillan.
Yeah, Fritz Niemeyer. It's nice to meet you. As you've heard about our little fire.
Oh yeah. I heard there was a fire here and a fire someplace else. Like all kinds of weird things happening up here.
Well, I mean, ours was just storerooms. That there must have been something left, and it caught fire, I guess. we had some flax stored, and it caught fire.
That is what we heard as well. I beg your pardon, Kensington Stone Grapple. I have some local interests in areas of commerce, and one does like to investigate the conditions where such thing is stored if one is going to be investing. So when I heard of this, I was of course curious and did employ my associate here. Currently, what is the? Are you getting a good price for your flax?
Well, we mainly use it for our own personal use for spinning for clothing. Yeah.
This this is why I wish to. I'm so interested in this. Not only is my company investing in wool, but also in flax. We're diversifying, you see, and it led me to this area. Rather than keeping it all in one place, I find it most. It's a very prudent practice to look all over the area, find out who is doing the best in procuring these raw ingredients, so it with which to involve ourselves and invest.
So you're looking to invest in flax?
I mean, of other things as well, certainly.
Yeah, amongst other things.
Yeah, we're diversifying a portfolio.
It's very interesting. I was debating what to plant next year. I've been doing wheat, but I could easily be persuaded to, with a proper futures investment, to plant flax instead. Yeah.
But I will say, my friend is very eager and always willing to invest. It's like money just falling off of him left and right. I understand he makes things very enticing, but I wish to know the dangers. Just how flammable is flax.
And you are?
Oh, pardon me. I am Madame Marvolo. I see things. That is my occupation. And I advise.
He glances back at Kensington.
But
some of the investors are a bit more eccentric than others.
Yeah, I see. Very good, very good. Would you like to take a look at the barn? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, yes, please. Yes, if you'd be so kind.
Oh, very good, very good. So drive your team over here. We can tie them up in the stables next to the barn. Yeah. And he sets about doing so.
Again, what is your name, dear man?
Fritz. Fritz Niemeyer.
Let us, you and I, have a conversation, and if you would allow my compatriots to see if they can see anything that you might have missed, eh?
Yeah. And he walks away with Kensington off to the side, allowing Madame Marvolo, Jane, and Cormac access to the barn.
All right. I did not get any shifty vibes from this guy. Did you? Did anybody else? Like, you don't think he did any of this stuff on purpose? Like, hey, I'd like to tinkle in the dark forces for fun,
He didn't strike me as a guy that just lost his kid.
That was his kid. Oh no, I didn't think that was his kid. The kids,
and he's acting correct.
So the kids and the fires are not connected. So there's
correct.
2 kids and 2 fires. But
2 kids dead, 2 fires, all separate houses.
So there's 4 incidents.
And I'm thinking if he uses the flax for his own personal needs, that he probably didn't start the fire on himself, but
no, I don't think he did. So yeah, I think he's fine. But I would like very much to see if there are any evidence of a cult.
I'm looking around. I'm trying to see where the soot on the walls gets darker. Maybe that's where it came from. I mean, I know that's McCormick's deal, but yeah, I don't think Save sent us out here to the boonies for a guy that set his own barn on fire.
I don't think he set it on fire. I think
Yeah.
something else did.
Yeah.
And we need to determine A, what it was,
Yeah.
and B.
Is there anything near the flax?
All right. What I need you all to do, Madame Marvolo is checking for occult symbology and that sort of thing. So roll your occult skill. Jane, you are looking for any sort of suspicious.
I'm just looking. Yeah.
Go ahead and roll yours as well. 4.
That's a good roll.
Because of your area of expertise. And Cormac, as you are a fire aficionado, you can also roll to see what you can discover.
So I got 19, which I think is a pretty darn good roll. Those are
I got
very high
13.
numbers.
I'm sorry,
15.
Jane. Jane, how much? What?
13.
And Cormac,
I got a 15.
15.
And I'm more looking for what could have started it, or kind of the same, like where it might have started from.
Very well.
Like you can tell if there's a burnout, like if it spread from a place, if there's any broken glass from a lantern or anything like that.
Very good. I will describe what the three of you collectively have discovered. In your investigations, you determined that the room was entered prior to the fire forcibly. There is damage to the hinges, and the lock is still locked, but it looks like it has been barged in. And that is what Jane discovers. Madame Marvolo, you do not detect any, you do not find any occult symbolism or anything like that.
Candles?
Nope, nothing like that done at all. Although you do discover, Madame Marvolo, some what looks like knife marks around the lock. Like someone was trying to pry at the lock prior to breaking it in. Cormac, you discovered that the source of ignition was, it looks to be that someone took a lantern that was in here, lit it, and then hurled it at the center of the room, only after dragging all the flax into the middle of the room. The flax was stored all about the room. It was piled in the middle, and then a lit lantern thrown into it. So very deliberate.
So is the flax loose at this point, or is it like neatly stacked and bound?
Oh, it's burned up. It's ash.
It's ash. Okay.
All of the flax that was in this room, which probably was bound up at some point, unspun. Normally you have to spin the flax then to make the fibers. So this is pre that. So it's basically the plants, and they've just been burned. Bales of them just destroyed.
Is there anything underneath them in the center there?
No, just the stone floor.
Just the stone floor.
Who did this guy tick off?
Yeah.
Right? This just seems like a mortal man pissed off. They really wanted to get in here. Do you see these scratches here? And I have another question for Gloommaster.
Yes.
Was the force that made the door go boom, or was that force that the man or person of strength could do, or supernatural strength?
A strong person could have barged it in.
Okay.
Definitely a strong person, though.
But a very strong person.
Well, I mean, not superhuman strength, but
yes, but like a normal person, but very strong. Okay. So this could just be a person that's a PC person. This is F that guy. So we ask Niemeyer if he has any enemies. Anyone?
Kensington, you're with Niemeyer right now.
Well, I do think, Fritz, that in addition to the thriving, we have the possibilities of linen alone very very good futures. I should also say that the seeds do feed sheep very well. If you know of anybody who is raising sheep, wool, I should highly suggest investing. If you know anybody, if you have a friend who's a farmer, perhaps investing in wool. We're very interested in wool.
He looks at you kind of funny. They're all farmers.
Perfect. I'm so glad that I'm here. yes. But yes, I will be. We're closing the deal, as they say, on some factories. The whole damn country will be silly with wool, and you can also send it over my way. Queen loves it. She loves the stuff, just covered in wool. Middle of summer, she's draped in 40 pounds of wool. She's a mad woman, but we love her.
Well, he takes your card, your information.
Oh yes.
Yeah, did you figure out what happened to my storeroom?
Yes. Do you have any enemies?
No.
Yeah, like, did you have a fight with anybody? I mean, did you lock yourself out? Did you forget your key?
Nine.
Oh.
We've very good terms with all of the neighbors. Most of us have come here.
Is he lying?
You can try to discern that.
Yeah, as a shyster myself.
Yes, I will let you roll 4 dice for that.
Thank you.
I mean, have the neighbors reported any vandalism, anything missing?
That was the other end of the spectrum. 1113.
Oh,
So
He's the most honest man you have ever met in your life. Either that or he's the worst liar ever. And you're not sure which. He's either a saint or a demon. Who knows? Who can say?
Is he? Yes. No. Okay, I'll let this go.
My friend, these we must explore these possibilities. Has there been? I hate to even ask this. Has there been any unpleasantness amongst your neighbors, my friend?
No, not really. We're all from the home country. We're all from the Norman German states. Most of the people around here, yeah. Lovely Mr. Muhlenberg down the road in Collegeville. He is setting up his lovely little church. We're all members of his Lutheran church, yeah. Well, I mean, except for the Staufers, they just arrived, so we haven't really met them very well yet. But yeah, all the German families in the area, we all attend that church.
Well,
I'm not sure. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
But it looks like somebody burnt up all your flax on purpose.
Yeah, that does seem strange that it was only in this room.
Yeah, is there anything underneath the barn? Or do you keep anything else in the barn normally?
I mean, there's hay in the other part over there, and the cattle come in at night. I mean, I've got 5 dairy cows that come in, but they were unharmed.
That's weird, because you figure if they wanted to start a fire, they'd go with the hay, since it's a little bit more flammable.
Yeah, you would think. It's very strange.
Yeah. Well, this is all very, very interesting, very, very puzzling indeed. Fritz, I cannot thank you enough. I am so sorry that this has happened. Now that we are on the possibility of being partners, business associates, to say the least, would you mind if we took some time and did some investigating around the area? Perhaps talking to your neighbors about this, would that be prudent? Would that be?
My neighbors are fine. I don't know what you want to ask them about. I know that down the road, unfortunately, the Bowers had some sort of mishap with one of their daughters. I don't know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But...
Oh dear. Well. Nearest thought, but we must. If I'm going to be bringing any amount of money into the area, I must search under every stone, as you understand. I shall. I do. We're
We
going
like to get a feel for the area, you know, like sometimes like the kids, they get bored, they start breaking into people's barns, and now this thing with the Bowers girl, you know, we like to have a good working relationship with all of our partners. If I may, boss, I didn't mean to cut you off there. You know, we just we like the family feel of business. So, you know, we just get to know the neighbors, make sure that this is just a good situation for everyone involved. You get it.
Perhaps they've seen something odd.
Well, the Bowers are just 2 farmsteads up on the right.
Well, maybe they have seen something, or at least heard something. You never know. But I shall be in contact with you within let's say a week or so at the beginning of the new year. Likes to start the books off clean, and I might be able to acquire you a little bit of seed money, as it were.
Oh, that would be a lovely 12 days of Christmas presents. That would be wonderful. And I hope you have a joyous epiphany.
Oh, thank you, yes, and also with you, yes.
Oh. If there's nothing further, you can continue up the road.
I just wanted to, real quick, just on the general outside of the barn, especially like around where the flax was, does it look like not the snow has been disturbed, but because I don't know how long ago this happened, how long it's been snowing. But any disturbance in the...
You can roll 3d6 for me.
Okay. And I got an 11.
It's snowed since this fire, so...
Okay.
And it's been a couple days now, so you don't really find much of anything.
I wasn't sure how long it'd been snowing, so I figured I'd ask. All right. All right, now I suppose we should take our leave.
All right. What would you like to do next?
Can I? I do think ritual is being happening. I've been thinking about this. They are all from Germanic traditions, and
yes.
we, it's not far from Russia. So, and I'm Russian, as you know, and the traditions. I would like to see if I can remember any traditions that involve fire and child mutilation.
And I should also like to, now that I've been given more of the information as we make our way, I'm going to also do an occult check if that is possible.
Yes, you both may do so.
I will use it. I will use a help.
Oh yeah, how do I do that? Tell me how to do that.
You say that you want to use a help.
I would like to do that.
These are the helps that are available. Marvolo, you have 2. Kensington, you have 1. You can choose to spend 1 or more of them. And then you roll an extra die, and then just take the highest 4.
Okay. I'm going to need it because I rolled like butt.
20.
Okay. I used 1. So that's 8, 9, 10, 13.
Madam Marvolo, because of your unique situation, being a Russian medium.
Very Russian.
Yes, you don't really remember anything. Kensington, however,
yes,
something about flax sticks in your mind, and you're trying to think about what it is, and then it comes to you. There's an old German folk tale about Frau Prechte.
That's it. I'm like, oh, thank you. It was on the tip of Mam's tongue. I was like, this sounds so familiar.
Frau Prechte.
Frau Prechte.
Is an old crone, a witch, and disobedient children.
Oh, takes care of children that are very wicked.
She's related to Krampus in a way. But One of her big hangups is if the children have not finished all of their spinning by the Epiphany, or if they've been naughty in some way, shape, or form, she will come in and destroy their flax. Particularly naughty children also know her as Belly Slitter. She has been known to disembowel very bad children and replace their internal organs with straw and rocks.
That'll do it.
That reminds me, that oatmeal has just kicked in.
But Epiphany, we still got 2 weeks. It's only the day after Christmas.
Yeah, I need to solve this at the next house.
I know. We're moving. We're moving. Yeah.
We do have 2 weeks, but you saw the size of that barn, eh? Yes.
So now that he has mentioned Frau Perchta, what do we know about stopping her? Or just making sure all the children get their spinning done? No, that seems a little silly. I'd like to stop her.
Also, the house is coming into view. Do we want to get together on a story this time of, hi, your daughter died?
I understand her guts were replaced by straw and rocks.
Yeah, like what's the over under on her guts?
We can tell as much of the truth as I am an investor. We've heard of I wish to invest in this community. I've heard of a tragedy. We are here to offer our condolences and find out anything about. If there's one thing that unfortunately I am familiar with is being the ear to someone who has lost someone, and one must just let them talk. Give them a friendly ear. We shall aid them, as is our duty as good Christians, or at least close enough.
Speak for yourself. I'm a good Christian.
I am a little bit of everything.
You've arrived at the Bauer residence.
I mean, if you would like, no,
And
I don't
this,
want to.
this is one of the murders, not one of the burns, right? Okay, I just want to make sure I got it right. Like me, Matt, the player.
Yes, I would very much hope you do not say that when we are outside of the door.
Gary.
So
So I knock.
Sorry. Hey, before we go any further, I just got to know, arson or dead kid?
What are we stepping into here? There's a delay at the knock, and then eventually a man dressed all in black looks very haggard and worn. He's probably in his late 30s, maybe early 40s. Opens the door. Yeah, can I help you?
Mr. Bauer?
Yeah.
My name is Kensington Stoke Grapple. Allow me to extend my deepest condolences.
He just nods grimly.
Yes. May we come in?
Who are you?
I'm new to this area. I'm working with one of your neighbors, and I always feel that it is. I wish to be part of the community, and unfortunately, I was going to be making my introductions anyway, but I find that this time is it might be inconvenient. I just maybe we should come back later.
Get out of the cold, so that I can at least get you a cup of coffee. Come in.
Thank you.
He brings you into the main room, and he immediately calls to his wife, Emmeline, would you put on a kettle for our guests? There are two little boys running around as well. They scamper off to go help fetch some cups.
Emmeline, there is. I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Jane. There's 4 of us. There's one of you. Let me help you with the tea and things.
She appears to be going through the motions of life at this point.
Oh,
She
I
stares at you.
definitely offer help too.
She stares at you numbly, and but offers no resistance when you offer to help.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give her a pat and follow her.
Very well. So, Madame Marvolo and Jane go with Emmeline into the kitchen. Is that correct?
I'm staying with Stoat Grapple.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll start out in the main room. Stefan Bauer introduced himself as Stefan. Yeah, you're looking at moving to the area?
Investing.
Investing.
I have a wool factory in the city, and I like to, rather than having everything out in one place, I find it more it works wonders to find a variety of different kinds of wool throughout the wider area, rather than having everything concentrated. I find it works so much better for the entire countryside, rather than just keeping it all in one day. But yes, I'm an investor.
As you're speaking, you see that he is not hearing a word you're saying.
Yes.
He is staring off into space.
I hope to bring some level of prosperity to this area, but I fear that I've come at an inopportune time. The Christmas season is usually full of merriment and laughter, and unfortunately, I hear you did lose a daughter.
His jaw goes white tight as he's trying to repress a sob, and he just sternly nods.
It's all right, man. It's all right. I too have lost a child, and
Another stiff nod.
I put my hand on his elbow. I said, "It is all right. It's all right."
His eyes glare at you for a brief moment before he regains his composure when you say that. But he still utters nothing. His lips are tightly pressed together.
I find when I think about my dear son, I think of him in the present, and I describe him. He's a very, very adventurous child. He climbing trees, always up one, and always bringing a book up with him, one of my magazines, and yes, I find that when I do talk about him, it helps me greatly. Would you tell me about her?
You almost hear an audible snap in the air as he glares at both of you and says, "Do you want to know about her?" He grabs both of your hands and drags you to a door and says, and pushes it open. "She's still there. You tell me." And he storms off.
Well, not what I wanted, but same end game.
It's a dark room. There is a bed. There is the stench of evacuated bowels and the rotting meat stench of death in this room.
I'm going to make an occult roll.
Go ahead.
I'm going to once over the body, too. I'm not going to make an occult roll because I'm a good Catholic.
It is dark in here.
14.
It's dark. You don't really know until Cormac lights a light. There's a form on the bed. A blanket is draped over it. You can see it is teenager sized, not quite a full-grown adult, but you cannot make out any more than that. The center of the wool blanket that is over top of it is dark with a stain. And then there's something piled up on the floor. As you look closer, you see it looks like rotting sausage casings, the intestines, the liver, the bowels. They're all in a pile at the foot of the bed.
I'm pulling the cover back to see, I'll light another match because matches only burn for so long.
It is a young girl on the bed, lying on her back, her face a rictus of horror, staring open-eyed at the ceiling. She is split from the bottom of her rib cage down past her navel. And it is an open cavity that is full of bloody straw and fist-sized rocks.
Well,
That's what I was afraid of.
yes.
You would guess she was 12, 13 years old.
Cormac, I think we might have to forego the tea.
Yeah, I'm thinking, but this ain't right.
No, it is not.
Meanwhile, out in the kitchen, ignorant of the grisly sight, Madame Marvolo and Jane are with Emmeline as she makes tea. Her two young sons running around.
Are they playing or are they working?
They were pretending to work, but now they are playing.
Oh, the little boys. I look how they play and run. Like they
Emmeline.
have no cares in the world.
Emmeline says into the distance, they don't realize yet.
I'm taking the tea things from her and I'm trying to get her to sit down. Like, I got this. I got this. You moms do too much.
What do they not realize?
Their
Life is
sister
hard.
is gone.
They don't know their sister. How may I ask, how recent?
Yesterday.
Oh, you are so strong and very strong to be able to.
She is
How-
clearly going just on autopilot, making coffee for everyone.
Hmm.
The boys are playing around the table.
They don't know.
They know, but they don't.
What could have done
They know,
this?
they do not understand.
Do not understand that she is gone.
Nine.
She was taken so young. This is so unfortunate. But you have two
She
brave
collapses
boys.
forward slightly, catches herself with her hands on the edge of the counter, and pushes herself back upright and says, 13.
Can I take her hands and sit her down at the table and look at
Yes,
Jane
she is
and
easily led at this point.
Make the do the thing.
The kids are running around, and the youngest appears to be about 4, maybe 5. He comes on over and says, yeah, would you make one for Duella too?
Of course, I will make a cup of tea for Druella. What do you want in yours? What's your name?
Oh, I'm Wilhelm.
Hi, Wilhelm.
Yeah.
How many fingers are you?
I am Fear.
Oh, very nice. And your brother?
Sieben.
That's his name, or you're 7 years old?
Otto is sieben.
Otto is 7. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, here are your teas. No, they're hot. Let them sit for a minute. And you don't worry about Druella. I will run her tea to her myself.
Yeah, is she done playing with the knife lady?
I look at
tell me more
the
about that.
mother. What is the mother doing when
The mother
they
is
mention-
staring off into space.
Is the knife lady from did the carnival come in town? Who's the knife lady?
The knife lady, she went into the room and got very mad. And then they were playing with around the bed.
Who let the
That's
knife
what I
leave?
saw. I peeked in under the door.
Oh, did you? And when was this?
Oh, this was 2 nights ago. I looked in. Yeah.
Nights ago.
Yeah. She's not come out of her room since Mommy and Daddy went in, but Druella has not come out.
Well, that sounds like some pretty strenuous play. She's probably really tired. What else did you see or hear?
That she came in from the knife lady just walked into the house. I heard the door open and I looked and there was this woman and she came in and she went right to Druella's door and went inside. And
Well, that sounds...
she said something. I could not hear what it was. It was not nice, though. She seemed angry. And Druella went to yell, but something happened. I don't know. And then I saw that they were wrestling on the bed. I
think you are very brave to watch all that. I would have been so scared.
Oh, I was scared. But then it got quiet, and I looked in, and looks like I thought that Druella went to sleep, and the knife lady was gone, so I went back to bed.
So the knife lady just poof, or she went back out the front door?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't see her go.
And you never saw this lady before?
9.
Would she have had to pass by you to leave?
Maybe. I don't remember seeing her go. I saw her when she went into the room. She's all in rags. It was very dirty.
Did you tell your mommy and daddy that you saw this lady?
I mentioned her, yeah. They did not seem to believe me. I'm not lying. I saw her. She had a big nose.
What else did she look like? You know, I bet there's I'm gonna start making everybody snacks.
She had a big nose, and the light glinted off it from the fireplace.
So it was shiny? Is it a shiny nose?
Yeah.
Might have been made of metal.
Yeah, it was, I think. Do you know her?
No,
I've heard of her.
You tell this story so good, we can just picture it.
So you don't know the knife lady?
I have heard of her.
Oh, is she coming back?
One would hope not.
I didn't like her very much.
You are very smart, boy.
She was dressed in dirty rags and had that shiny nose. She was not nice.
She is not nice.
At this point is when Cormac and Kensington have finished where they are as well.
Well, would we have heard him yell, "You want to see her? She's right there"?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's definitely going to get my attention.
Yes, you hear that.
Okay. So interviewing the kid and
Mom is just zoned out and she has no reaction to the lady with the sharp nose.
I think we might have overstayed our welcome.
The front door is open, and Stefan is standing out in the snow, just staring off at the road.
You know what happened. The child has seen it. I need to know if she will be back. How do we keep her out?
How did you? Are the children here?
They're in the kitchen.
Are we outside now?
Is there any? Do you play with any other children in any of your other neighbors?
You're asking the two children?
Yes.
Otto, the older one, says, Wilhelm plays with Irvin sometimes.
Is he a good boy or is he naughty?
He's a good boy. He's with the Schroders down the road. We haven't seen him in about 4 days, though.
Is there anyone? Do you know of any other children who you don't like to play with because they are naughty?
Well, mommy and daddy always say that Gertrude is a naughty girl, but we have not seen Gertrude in 4 days. That is Irvin's older sister. She and Druella would play together.
That's the name of the other one that's been.
Mm-hmm.
That's their sister.
I'm trying to find if there's another child who might be next.
Well, Gertrude and Druella and Elsa and Matilda all used to run around and tease us because they are older than we are, and they would pull on our ears.
And what is that? Do you know where they live?
The Muellers are over in outside in the Perkiomen area, yeah, and Matilda Zimmerman, they live halfway to Gilbertsville from here.
Oh, that's a very far away.
We're going to visit the Millers.
Yes.
But I feel like I am unarmed. I do not know how to combat this iron-nosed lady.
Well,
I'm taking Otto aside before we go anywhere and be like, hey, buddy, so you're probably going to have to take care of your parents more than usual. I also want you to go check in on a neighbor and have them check on you so you guys don't starve.
I guess I could talk to the Gottfrieds.
Because, when you're
And he
sad,
gestures-
you don't feel like cooking.
He gestures nearby.
Okay.
You're very maternal. You have good instincts for little ones. Next level compassion there, Jen. Respect.
You're not trying to hurt my feelings, but it's fine.
might we go and yes.
Yes, as we go, I would like very much to discuss.
Yeah, what were you guys yelling about?
Do we stop?
This you don't want to know. Well, I shall tell you. It is what we have feared.
You've got back to your sleigh at this point. So
yes. It is what we have feared. We must stop this immediately.
Yeah, the lass's guts weren't where they were supposed to be.
Oh.
They were all over the floor and replaced with some rocks and some hay.
Oh. And that was in the...
That was it, yes.
In the
Yes.
bedroom.
And they
Yeah.
did not clean it up or anything.
We shall deal with that after the.
Do either of you heathens know if there'd be a reason to leave the body there?
I can't think of one. I'd already done my.
Probably just shell-shocked and...
Yes, I think the limits of my role At a 14.
Yes.
Yes, I think that's. I think I've gotten all the information I can from that particular gruesome scene. However,
I will say, with your occult knowledges, both you and Madame Marvolo, it does absolutely track that she would punish naughty girls.
yes, that's why I was seeing if there's another one that might be in danger.
Check out Matilda, but Matilda's too far.
But we don't know how to stop. I've no idea. Like, do we shoot her? Do we stab her? Do we put a ring of salt around all of the naughty girls?
We should try them all.
I have cocaine. I'm just bragging.
Yes.
Oh.
We don't want to heal the monster. That's a purely medicinal device.
Yeah. Oh, and then I tell the guys about the knife lady story that I got. So I don't know. I don't think it's a ghost because she came in through a door.
And there was a smashing of the door.
Is there?
But then she disappeared.
Is there a powwow man in the area?
Like a
You mean
medicine.
It is a powwow man is a person of German descent. It is a shaman of sorts. I'm trying to pool our resources.
That's fair.
I know this area.
So you're trying to find you're trying to think if there's
someone who will know how one vanquishes a
folklore expert.
Yes, I know. Yes.
I will give you this. Your occult knowledges tells you that if there is anyone who's going to know what's going on around amongst the Frau Perchta legend, it's either going to be a German minister or a wise woman. You know, whatever. There is a tradition of the German wise woman in Bavaria and such.
Well, they said they're from a community of Lutherans, and maybe there's a Lutheran church nearby.
There is, in fact.
Lutherans hate doors.
They enjoy doors very much. They enjoy nailing things to them. If there were no doors, they'd have nothing to nail anything to.
I can't argue with you.
You ever try to nail something to glass? Silly.
Oh, dear God.
I deal with stress in different ways. I apologize.
All right, look, I'm driving the sleigh. Which way are we going?
Back in Trapp, there is a large Lutheran church, Augustus Lutheran Church.
Off we go.
All right.
As good a place as any place else to go. We should stop by the other girls. I'm going to guess we're going to find the exact same thing, though.
It's also
At the Muellers that they have not yet been struck, but we wish to stop them. I anticipate based on the timing of everything, it happens at night. Is that correct?
And how
Also,
far away are the Schroeders? Because that's where the boy is that they were playing with.
I believe Frau Perchta will focus on the female.
I think so as well.
To give you a bit of a frame of reference, I've given you a lot of information. So Stefan and Emmeline Bauer, their daughter Druella, was the one you just saw.
Yes.
They also happen to have two sons, Otto and Wilhelm. The Schroeders, their daughter is dead as well, Gertrude.
Gertrude, yes.
However, they also have a son named Erwin. That is what the boys were discussing with you at the house.
Yes.
Then they also mentioned that Druella and Gertrude used to hang out with Elsa Mueller and Matilda Zimmerman, which are other girls in the vicinity of
Who is
roughly the
closer?
same age.
Who is physically closer to this farm?
It would seem that the Muellers are closer.
Very good.
To clarify, I understand where you are going. We have two destinations that we must attend to: the Lutheran person, minister, and the next potential victim.
Yes.
And we have two next potential victims to choose from, and we wish to go to the closest of the two.
If we go to the minister, he might give us a better idea of who would be there first. Who would
Exactly.
be more wicked, I suppose. Is the
And
word.
how to stop
Yes,
her.
yes,
That is my most important thing.
yes.
All right. It is right now. It is early afternoon at this point. About 1 p.m. It is about a half-hour sleigh ride back to Trapp, which is where the Augustus Lutheran Church is. It is a. It has become a bit famous. It was founded by Henry Muhlenberg, a renowned Lutheran minister who did a lot in Eastern Pennsylvania, as did his family. So that is the famous church, Lutheran church that you know of, that these German immigrants probably all go to. So is that where you wish to head?
Yes.
Very well. A half hour later, you find yourself at the Augustus Lutheran Church.
As we're driving, how do we want to go about this, eh? Cards relatively out on the table?
I do not think that is the wisest of ways, but maybe like a bush, we beat around it. We say, oh, we've heard the tragedies in town, and we have heard very disturbing things about the poor girls. And say, maybe mention rocks, guts, long nose.
How about this? I am among my many investments. I publish magazines over in England, and in a way to assuage the children's fears of such of a witch. What should one do if one encounters it, and then go from there, eh?
Certainly a lovely text. You're so smart.
I mean, if one of us goes in for confession, then you get like that, like one-on-one
Lutherans
time
don't
with them.
really
and
do
they'll
that.
go,
They don't really confess to things.
That was part of the whole thesis thing. Intermediary to God. They're wrong.
Yeah.
But
Much easier just to pay to get into heaven, obviously. Yes. That's what we do in the C of E and also other religions, I mean. Yes. So off we go. Knock, knock, knock. The church is open. Here we are.
Indeed. It is mid-afternoon when you arrive at Augustus Lutheran Church. The doors, as a Lutheran church, it is open. A simple knock brings the pastor to the door. He's an older gentleman. And he says, "Yes, yes, my children, can I assist you?"
Hello. I work for a publishing company. We're working on some stories for children. And we found there's a large population of German families in the area, and we thought, as a bookend to the festive holiday season, we would highlight some stories about the Krampus and what was the other one you were talking about?
Frau Brecht.
That's the one. Yes, yes,
Perchta.
yes.
Brecht.
Oh, you are researching German folklore, Frau Perchta. You say? Oh, yes, I do know a little, I suppose. Would you like to come in? Would you
Oh, yes,
fancy
yes,
some tea, perhaps?
yes, yes. Oh, thank you.
My back teeth are swimming with tea. You guys drink so much tea. Oh, that's fine. Delicious tea. I'm looking very much forward to it.
Oh, yes, please come in, sit down. Yes, so what can I tell you that you don't already know?
Well, we all know about Krampus, old news. But there's a metal nose that sounds dreadful.
Oh, that is some of the legends of Perchta or Brechta, depending on what region you're from, is what she is known as. She's got her own feast day during the 12 days of Christmas. You know.
Which one?
It's in the middle. It's tradition to have gruel and fish, and it's said if you don't eat gruel and fish as the meal, that Frau Perchta will come and punish you.
Yeah, we do pork and black-eyed peas at my on New Year's Day, that is. But so towards the metal, that's interesting.
When is this? Is
Yeah, where are we in the Christmas season? Like,
you are 2 days after Christmas right now.
okay.
So this day has already passed. It was a very recent thing.
No, it should be
Yes.
next
12 days of Christmas? When
It
are
happens
they?
after,
Before
it happens
Christmas?
after.
Yeah, we're on the third day of Christmas right now.
Frau Perchta's feast day is actually Epiphany as well, so January 6th.
That's what I was prying for.
Is this a thing you celebrate?
Oh, I mean, it's an old Austrian German legend, and most of us are descendant from Austrian and German families around here, so there's a certain lip service that's paid to it, but not. Most of us are Lutheran, and only the Catholics in the very south of Bavaria really are that devout. As far as Catholicism goes, most of us came from the north.
Just again, this is all for a periodical. This is mostly a bit of fluff that will be found in a bit of what it is. We all know that Krampus, the way one gets rid of him is one sings poorly, and he leaves. But how does one banish her? How does she go away? Eh?
Oh, I don't know. I've only ever heard her showing up to punish the wicked.
Mm.
Oh,
Is
that
she a
is
specter?
unfortunate.
Is she? I don't.
I think she lives somewhere between the idea of a witch and a ghost.
Now we're talking.
Hey, is it because of the season that you are very much interested in?
It is because of the season. It is.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Trying to get the story together.
It does take a while to publish some work. One must collect all the information. One must write about it. Then there's editing. Then it goes through. We'll have an illustration for this, and it should be. We should be having them out next year. But one does like to collect this information and strike while the iron's hot. Everyone's thinking about such things. It's still Christmas spirit is still upon us. And what better time than now, eh?
Oh, I suppose you're not wrong. They do say that she's sometimes associated with the Wild Hunt as well. And she has an army of unbaptized children's souls at her beck and call.
Oh, my. That sounds great. Like, wow. Like, that's a. How many is that?
An army of them?
Oh, that's a lot.
Well, fortunately,
Mm.
are the children baptized in this area? Are there any ones who aren't baptized?
I mean, as far as I know, they're baptized, yes.
Yes.
Do you think baptizing the army would defeat her? I mean, just for the sake of the article.
Oh, no, my understanding is that they are the departed souls of children who died unbaptized.
Huh.
I
Yeah, I
imagine
don't
it's
think you can
rather hard to
baptize after
baptize a
the
ghost.
fact. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
Are there any now I want to do something quite well, I shall propose it to you. Do you think it would be a good idea to speak to some of the let's say the more not wicked children, but the ones who are a bit of scamps around the area who might be I don't know. I'm not saying this right. Jane, what's the best way, Madam?
We're part of the initiative with the article writing is,
we want to talk to some little shits.
Just so that we could get their perspective on what it would be like to be visited by Frau Prechta.
Ah, yes.
we want to make sure they're on the righteous road, and so they can grow up to be successful.
Oh, well,
Members of the
there are
community.
children, the young teenagers. They can be a little bit of a handful, I suppose.
I know you love all of your parishioners.
Of course I do, but I do also admit that there are the wayward children. They, when there's not school and they get out, having a little bit of a time, a tussle. There's a group of girls that cause more problems than the boys sometimes.
Such a thing possible.
Yeah, they never see it coming.
It is, I assure you, amongst German girls. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Same with Russians, I assure you.
I don't know. I think I'd have to hear some stories, know.
Who would we get some stories from?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with the Italian and the Irish girls, so.
But I mean, there's there's four girls that run around together. Matilda, Elsa, Gertrude, and Druella. Four of them get into trouble.
But did you hear what happened to Druella?
Something happened to Druella?
Yes. It was very
she was running around and I think she twisted her ankle.
That's it.
That's what happens when you're running around too much. When you say running around, like
give me a bluff, because you've obviously let a little bit too much slip. Try to bluff your way into convincing the minister that you're only talking about a twisted ankle.
Me?
Yes, you.
All right.
Talk about those help, eh? Who has help?
Like lying is part of my job. So do I do all four? 3.
I would normally say 4, but I'm gonna make it 3 because man, you guys have really put the foot in the way.
Because twisting your ankle is pretty stupid. Yeah.
Also, there you have helps if you want to use any.
You got 2 helps.
I would like a help, please.
All right, so roll 4 dice, take the highest 3.
All right, roll 4, highest 3.
I will roll for the minister.
Ay, Dios mío.
13.
He believes you. I rolled a 6.
Get it?
Oh, wow.
They're running around.
He really wants to believe in the best of all humanity, so he can't possibly imagine that you would lie to him.
No, I wouldn't.
And out of Elsa and Gertrude, who would be the closest? Just point us in the direction.
Gertrude is relatively close, but Elsa is Gertrude is the Schroders, and then the Elsa Mueller. They're up going toward Perkiomen itself.
Yes.
Which way would that be?
Oh, well, you just go back up the Colonial Road, and you'll make a right, and you keep on going. You'll cross. There's a small a little dirt road that crosses about 3 miles past the Bauer farm, and that's where you'll find the Schroeder farm. And then if you keep following that all the way up to Green Lane, that's where you can find the Muellers.
Thank you.
Well, Father, this has been, thank you so much for all of your Bavarian insights.
Oh, I'm not Bavarian at all. Heavens no. My people are from Prussia. The Bavarians are more Catholic oriented.
Your Prussian expertise is much appreciated.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'm an American now, but yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah, yes. Well, yeah, if you get a chance, if you can just like check in on the Bowers at some point, like sooner than later, would just check. We're all in a community.
Oh, I certainly haven't been over there in a bit. I could stop in and say hello, of course.
Cup of tea, say hi.
They weren't. Think about it. They weren't in church the other day.
Oh, what a that's terrible. Off we go.
Probably because the wounded ankle.
Madam, silly.
Okay.
And we hit and run over the ghost on our way go. Thank you so much for joining us here at Nacht 21.
Actually,
Oh,
as Kensington, Madame Marvolo, Jane, and Cormac awkwardly make their way out of the Augustus Lutheran Church back to their sleigh to take the snow-covered road to the Mueller family. That is, in fact, where we are going to call it for this evening, as it is almost 11 o'clock. Friends, I must ask you, are you available? I'm going to ask on camera to the four of you. Are you available next Wednesday?
yes.
I am.
Yeah, I got nothing going on.
Madame Marvolo?
Let me see what I can juggle.
All right. We will see what you can juggle. So tentatively, we will continue this adventure next Wednesday. And if not, we will try the Wednesday after that if Madame Marvolo cannot make it. How does that sound? That will still put us before the Epiphany. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Shot I had to.
I had originally intended this to be a one shot and just over one night, but there was a lot of information that needed to be conveyed, and it took a little longer than I anticipated. So we will continue.
With this gang?
We'll continue next Wednesday, hopefully. For all of you watching on Twitch and on YouTube, please check into our Facebook page for Nat 21 Adventures, or on our Discord, or also being posted in all of the social medias. Please keep us in mind for that. Let me just see. Allow me to introduce our players and see who they are and what they've got going on before we say goodbye. So let us start with Madame Marvolo. Madame Marvolo?
Hi, I'm Mab, just Mab. I am a pretty permanent resident here at Nat 21 Adventures. Right now, I am working on N21 merch. I'm working on stuff for the new year with Soft Automagenu, new swag. And I still have at Mab's Mobile Mercantile some other prototypes and one-offs and original art on mugs and various things that you can acquire. mabsmobilemercantile.com.
Yes, you can see that. It's right down in the crawl, right below you. Right there it is. Poof. Amazing. And let us also meet Kensington Stoatgrapple.
Hello. I'm Steve O'Dockerson. You can find all of my stuff at, let's get ready for it, hobthetroll.bandcamp.com. It is it being the holiday season. I've got lots of great Christmas albums available. The most recent one is a benefit for the Handley brothers. My dear friend Jonathan Handley and his brother have met with some really terrifying health stuff. They're on the mend, but I put out 2 single song, and all of the proceeds from that album are going to them and their family.
And you can see that over there in the comments section. Yes. The links for the Etsy for their pins as well. Yes. And also you can go to hobthetroll.bandcamp.com and the charity album, charity songs there. Very good. I'd also like to introduce Cormac McDillan.
How's it going? I am Hob the Troll, and so everything that you could possibly. But I also would highly ask all of you to. I'm Matt Selly, in all seriousness, to go to the Hob the Troll at Bandcamp or the Etsy shop for the pin for Jonathan and his brother David. They are wonderful, wonderful people, and it is terrifying what is going on with them. So please, if you can. Buy the benefit album, buy the benefit pin, anything you can do to help them. That's really all I've got in the Christmas spirit.
Very good. For those of you who do not know who Jonathan is, he's been a longtime performer at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. So many of us have been working with him for several years now. He and his twin brother had medical emergencies, and we're trying to help them out. Yep. We also have with us Jane Divergent.
Hi, everybody. My name is Katie Bourbon. I am with the Trenton Improv Makes troupe. We just had a show, and we have not scheduled our next one, so I can't plug a show currently. But if you hop over to Facebook or Instagram and you just look up Trenton Makes Improv, you can follow us and stay abreast of all of our upcoming events. The next thing I'm doing is not really performance-wise, but I'm doing the Patriots Week in Trenton. It's a lot of fun. There is a bar crawl that costumes are encouraged. So I will be wearing colonial garb. And that is next Thursday. So all the Patriots Week stuff is between Christmas and New Year's to celebrate when we crossed the river to kill the British in their sleep on Christmas.
You killed the Germans.
Yeah.
Who were hired by the British, but.
Yeah. They were British.
Yeah, Colonel Rawl.
We weren't wake them up hey, how do you like your sausage? Stab. Damn
Hessians.
Yeah. But yeah, that is what's new and fun in my life, and I will be donating to the Jonathan David Fund.
Well, and allow me to introduce myself. I am the Gloom Master, Tom Zadoyko, as always. I just finished up at the Louisiana Renaissance Fair. We had a wonderful run down there. Coming up next for me will be the Buckle and Swash show, my sword fighting show with Ryan Gelodi, a regular on this channel as well. We'll be at the Florida Renaissance Fair in Deerfield Beach, Florida, all of February and March for 8 weekends, doing our sword swinging there. And then after that, we'll be in Tennessee at the Tennessee Renaissance Fair doing likewise. Want to thank our sponsors before we go. First of all, we want to thank 3D2U, 3D2U.org, our good friends who are doing dice trays, dice towers, journals, all sorts of laser, woodcut, and 3D printing gaming accessories. Check them out at 3D2U.org. Also, RenAdventures.com. We've got a new tour coming up. It's going to be in June. At Muncaster Castle. Spend a week staying in the castle where Paolo Garbanzo was the official jester of Muncaster Castle. We'll be there playing D&D and touring all the historical sites around there. Your game masters will be myself, Ryan Gelodi, and Paolo Garbanzo. So check that out at renadventures.com. And also, I really must plug my wife and I's endeavor. We have a book out called Dare, collection of short fiction and poetry, paperback, Kindle, and I do the narration for the Audible version. And if you really want, you can check this out over on Patreon. Patreon, we are Quill and Quote. Unfortunately, you have to type in the whole thing, Patreon /Quill and Quote, because it is adult material. It is horror based. So very often you have to actually deliberately go to it. I will put it down here on the bottom and show it to you right there in order to find us. If you subscribe to us, Melissa, who's there with our daughter, Helena, Baby Bat. If you subscribe to our Patreon, we give you the stories in advance. I do the narrations, and away it goes. You get those whenever we put them out as a sort of sneak preview by being a
Where I'm
Patreon.
going to write more stuff.
Now that the baby is getting to the point where she actually sleeps through the night, we're going to be able to get some more writing and recording done.
I can't teach you all the dirty words.
I'm sure she'll learn them soon enough with the circles that we run in.
Yeah.
He already listens to Slipknot on occasion. It's kind of funny.
Oh, yeah. The baby listens to Slipknot and Avenged Sevenfold. It's great. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Keep abreast of us on Discord and Facebook. And hopefully next Wednesday, if all of our schedules work out, we will wrap up this adventure at that time. But until then, everybody, thank you so much for joining us and have a lovely evening. Happy holidays, everyone.
Mwah.
Ah.
I hope you're getting it because I can't.
Do we all do that at the